Hi, I'm Sadia Davis with the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. I'm calling this Casual Creative Friday. We're going to do something a little different. In fact, I've switched up my environment and my background just to kind of mix it up a little bit for you today. So I want to go over a couple of things. We have some announcements. As I mentioned yesterday, next week we are really excited next Thursday to be joined by Colin Egglesfield. He's an agile artist, and so many of us right now are finding that within us, right? To be able to shift and move and find a different talent, in some cases that we didn't even know we had, in order to make it through this, what most are finding a difficult time, but also in those difficult times, some of the most incredible art is made. So we look forward to bringing on Colin next week. Also on next Friday, we're going to have an AIBI takeover. And AIBI, the Apparel Industry Board, Inc., they're a partner of 2112 and the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship. And we're literally turning over this platform for them to be able to bring to you some of the most innovative designers, pattern makers, and fashion industry professionals, not just here in Chicago, but all over. So before we get into our special guest, I have another announcement, except this time I'm not doing it. I'm really excited that the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship was born out of 2112. And 2112, our partner and our family, we provide resources, but longer form webinars and workshops and boot camps. So I'm going to bring on Elaine Wider-Hirschman to tell you a bit more about her upcoming talk at 2112. Elaine, nice to have you.
Thank you so much for having me, Sadia. So I'm a member of 2112. I'm an entertainment attorney. My firm is Convex Legal. And next week, on April 28th at 6 p.m., we are having a webinar, a conversation with Josh DeSilva, the Vice President of Acquisition and Distribution for both Questar Entertainment and CalVamp Films. And if you don't know about Questar, you should. Questar has been a distributor based in Chicago for 35 years, but not a lot of people know about them. They've done largely family-friendly fare. Their more recent label now is CalVamp Films, and this is concentrating on promoting Midwestern independent film from many of your favorite local filmmakers. So our conversation next week is important because as you develop your independent film project, you always need to be thinking about what the end game is, where you're going to distribute. At one time, you could film a pilot and shop it for distribution. These days, distributors want to be involved earlier and will often become co-production partners. So we will be talking about co-production, distribution, the state of the film industry, and what you can do to advance your project now with Josh DeSilva.
That's awesome. So it's art and the art of making money. And
yeah. It's the latest installment in our series, yes. You can this is 2112inc.com/events.
Yeah. So this is really an exciting thing because as a filmmaker myself and having worked with writers and being a producer and working with investors, it is so important for you to think about distribution on the front side. It's not something to wait till the end. In fact, the distributors can help guide the direction of where that film should land. So kudos to you. Have a great talk. Please, by all means, log on to our 2112 page and you can go to the events and you'll be able to sign up and hopefully she will see you there. Thanks so much, Elaine. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah. So you guys, I have to tell you, I mentioned that today is Creative Casual Friday. I'm really excited to be joined by Althea Montgomery. And before I bring her up, I just thought, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about what it means to be a creative and the energy that surrounds us and how do we release the stress and the anxiety. And, there's a whole business around crystals, right? The energy of what nature holds. But just for fun and games, I thought I'd share with you. This is called malachite. Now, I'm not going to wear this one around my neck. It's quite heavy, but it's quite lovely. There's a wonderful engineer, actually, who found his passion after working for, a big tech firm, and he decided to go start digging rocks out of the earth, right? So we all recognize this. This is an amethyst. It's beautiful and very heavy. Gorgeous. You'll often see these in sometimes in Asian restaurants as you enter, because in feng shui, there's a belief that they're somehow shifting the energy as people walk into the restaurant. And other in the shape, so these are crystals that have been carved out as a form of art. And again, this is something that this individual has done in his in retirement. And then there's the little ones, right? Some people carry them in their pocket. They wear them as a locket. In fact, I have on some amethyst earrings for today. And then some of us wear the little beads. You'll often see these little beads. So I wanted to kind of share what we see out there in the world, or what some of us have in our homes, as far as, resourcing these things, these outside things outside of us, to be able to connect with energy when really it's all inside of us. So I'm via the share of this beautiful soul, Althea Montgomery, who's with Creative Clearings. Come on up. Would love to engage and invite you on today. How are you feeling?
Hot. It's 91 degrees here in the City of Angels. Very hot.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're in LA.
I am in LA, yeah. It's hard to look at that, sorry.
I know this whole thing is like not natural, but tell us a little bit about, Althea, I always ask people to give their origin story, because it just helps everybody kind of get a really good sense and grounding of, who's talking to them.
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Dayton, Ohio, and I was a little psychic child, just soaking up energy everywhere. And I realized almost 10 years ago that I wanted to do this to help other people. So it used to really kick my butt, and I used to think that there was something wrong with me. And I'm really excited because one of my goals was to really help artistic people, because I'm a singer and a painter. And I noticed that as soon as I decided that I was just going to be me and be as weird as I could possibly be, that's when my life really took off. I'm not going to fit in where everybody else thought I should be. I'm not really sure if that's if that's what you wanted to know. I feel so much energy pulsating right now. So there's a tendency for me, just so you guys, hello, first time you're getting to know me, that I access information, and I can tap into a whole field of information, and usually I'll look up and look around. So that happens a lot. I'm already feeling everybody on the call, and I'm actually feeling anyone and everyone that's ever going to watch this. So I'm tapping into whatever you guys need, and I'm just very, very excited to help everyone calm down. I know I'm looking down there. I'm trying to look up here. Yeah. So everyone to calm down and realize absolutely what Saudia said. Crystals and beads and all that stuff outside of us is great, but really everything isn't within us. I have crystals, but something happened many years ago when I used to go to some, I think it was Buddhist meetings, and I said to the leader at one point, so you're telling me if I don't have this particular thing outside of me with me, that I can't tap into my power and source energy? And they were like, oh, you know what? That actually doesn't make any sense. And ever since then, I have been looking at ways to teach people how to tap in, that all the energy really is within you. And it's just an illusion. And the illusions can show up in different ways of why we think we're not powerful, why we make ourselves small. So I would really like to focus on that today, because creative people, there's an energy grid. Like, some of you may be very new to this, but artistic people in general, there's that whole saying of the starving artist. I am going to completely bust that out. I'm going to clear it up for everyone.
Clear it away.
No more. No more. And I always say that We did not come here to keep creating the same crap over and over and over again.
And to starve.
We're here to create more and new and different. And the truth is, we're all intuitive. We're all intuitive. We're all feeling everyone, everything, the animals, the trees. Now, what you do with that is up to you. So I'm going to invite everybody today to relax and say, do I like what's happening in the world right now? There's some good, there's some not so pleasant, but what can we actually do from all of this? What can you as individuals create? And I want to get into some more practical things with business because that's very important. Oftentimes creative people are seen as, oh, they don't have an attention span, or they're weird or too far out there or whatever. Cool, do that. Do that, be who you're supposed to be, and really trust it. Value you, because as soon as you start valuing you and what you do and bring to the world, other people will reflect that back. I'm getting all fired up.
Yes, get fired up. That's right, Althea. No, seriously. I mean, just tracking on the fact that, like, we don't have to own this mentality of being a starving artist. We don't have to own the fact that our world is in chaos right now. Doesn't mean that we have to be in chaos. So speak to a little bit, I'm glad you brought that up. Let's talk a little bit about what some people are feeling right now, because as I've mentioned, my sleep patterns are off. Go ahead. It's a lot.
Well, I like to take what most people would consider to be pretty far out there ideas, the woo-woo stuff, and make it very practical. There's no sense in taking people too far, too fast, freaking them out. But the thing is, if you just take a deep breath and just settle into your body a little bit, there is a part of you that knows that you are tapped into everything. It's as simple as, how many times have you not been expecting to hear from someone and then you just got this feeling that they were going to call you and they did? It's as simple as that. Don't overlook things like that. What we're feeling right now is a whole slew of things. So you have our actual physical bodies are changing. We have different vibrations coming into the planet. We also have people that are freaking out. One of the things I've noticed with a lot of artistic people, people in general, but we're talking about, artistic, creative people here, is that they think right now, well, what do I matter? What does what I'm doing matter right now? I'm most of the time it's like, oh, this is fun and artistic, and I paint or dance or whatever. A lot of those things have been put on hold, and people are really questioning, what's my place in this world? What am I contributing? And I want to remind people that you're contributing a lot. And the more you do things that you absolutely love, that light you up, you are helping to anchor in that energy into the planet. You are helping. You do have the power. It's your hologram. You're co-creating this with everyone. Yeah. What do you want? If you don't like the way things are going, I'm not telling you go out and do something physical, like, oh, I can, if I want to pick something up, I can just pick something up. It's done. This is way bigger than that. However, sitting wherever you are, each of you, you do have the power to change your focus, and you have the power to choose. And you can choose beyond what we're going through and say, what would I like to happen here? What could happen that would be way, way better than I could have never imagined? Because when we focus on things that don't feel good, that is an indication that we are focusing in a direction that we do not want to go. However, I wouldn't say to avoid it. When you have a fear coming up, ask, what is this trying to show me? What am I being triggered? People a lot of times will say, oh, let's get rid of the fear. We don't want that. But there is a lot of important information in that fear. What are you afraid of? This is an opportunity for people to really stop and reassess what they're doing. What's working for you in your business? Is your system, do you need to upgrade your system? Do you need to work with better people? I will tell you firsthand experience. I am a healer. I have a big heart. I'm super nice. And man, some people you just cannot be around. They'll suck the life out of you. And that is a big thing right now, as we're in isolation of like, wow, who do I feel better around? And what projects are really inspiring me? So take a look at the practical things. And, I wrote myself a few notes here.
Yeah.
One thing is, what do you really want? One thing I noticed, I used to do this a lot. When we've invested so much time and energy into something, we will tell ourselves over and over again that we want this. And just be honest with yourself. Is what you're doing really what you want to do? Is it maybe something your parents, your friends, family, or you spent 10, 15, 20 years doing it? This is an opportunity for you to get real. Is this what I really want to do? And am I being authentic? Am I being who I really am right now? No matter if you're a dancer, singer, painter, producer, movie maker, and everything else. Are you being you? And how can you be even more of you? How can you let yourself up level and grow and feel confident about that? And I'm going to help everybody with the clearing part of it too.
Yeah, and it's really cool because there's a couple of comments, that what is it, Angela Trotter, what she said, if we could look at that. I mean, we can't help but feel, right, all the stuff that's going on. But yeah, she says that she's thinking about coincidences and visions, and what is that? All the time.
Coincidences and visions. Oh yeah, very intuitive. I mean, some people block that off. That goes into a whole mix of, how we grew up and how safe we feel. Man, I used to see stuff when I was a kid, and I will say, no better person to do this type of work than me, because I'm the most skeptical person ever, and I will call everybody out on their crap. I'm like, yeah, right, prove it. And then I'm like, well, it's there.
Yeah.
How am I going to know that? I don't even need to know a person's name. I don't even need to know what they look like. And I can read their energy, and I start just telling people all about them. And they're like, how'd you do that? I'm like, it just is. It's energy.
Yeah. And it's something that I think most creatives, you hear about individuals who are inspired by a song, or they get lyrics. One of my friends, I think, gets lyrics when they're in the shower or when they're in water or swimming. I think everybody, has probably their own experience, and yet they don't really know what it is or how to explain it. But we become the benefactors of it because their music is so good, or their paintings are remarkable, or their designs are amazing. So speak to a little bit, you started to touch on that, really finding that space and not running away from it because of what others may have, or what our thought patterns. Even scheduling this talk, I thought it was very important, but I also know that, as I said from the beginning, and for those of you who are just logging on, today is Casual Creative Friday. I wanted to do something that was a little different to help us reduce our stress and to reduce some of the anxiety, because it's manifesting in bizarre ways. So for artists, it's like finding that balance, right, in business. But before you can go into doing your business, you first have to just be at peace within yourself. So you can just speak a little bit to that, Althea, helping people to become more comfortable with when they become more in tune.
Well, yeah, we're generally not taught to be okay with intuition. Most of us are told directly or indirectly that life just happens to us, and we're lucky or not lucky, and it's not true. And so most of the years that I've been doing this, I've been just opening people up to the possibility that you're way more powerful than you could ever imagine. And it's really scary at first, because you're like, oh crap, what the hell? I did that, or I can change that. There's things that it could be, past lives happen, just gonna say it. We don't need to go into stuff like that, but the energy can be shifted. And it's even this life. You could have had a trauma as a kid, a teenager. You could have had somebody look at you a funny way when you spoke up. But what I have found is it doesn't even matter what other people think. If there's the slightest part of you that's judging that aspect of you.
Yeah.
I had somebody tell me the other day, I'll be straight up. Somebody told me, they said, Althea, I just love how much of a bitch you are. You just say whatever you want and you don't care. And they meant it as a compliment. And I said, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because the point was, no, I'm not. I just speak my truth. There's no harm there. I'm speaking my truth. My intentions are good. And I generally tend to be the person that will say the stuff that no one else is willing to say. But We need softer, more quiet people. We need more fiery, aggressive or assertive. Like aggression and assertive get, kind of screwed up. But the point is, when you first start to become more of who you are, it is going to feel scary. You are going to feel like a little bit of a kickback, but check back in with yourself. As soon as you feel like someone else is judging you, that you're too this, too that, not enough, really take some moment alone and ask, like, where am I looking at myself this way? Where have I aligned and agreed with what other people said about me before? You don't have to do that. And that's just scratching the surface. That's just me talking.
Yeah.
And the thing is, things are going to be beyond words. Okay. You can talk and talk and talk. And I used to get frustrated for years because I would say, wait a minute. I just said this the other day too. You can't tell people that they didn't write enough affirmations and think enough happy thoughts. It happens sometimes. But if you tell people that, basically nothing they're doing is good enough, or this is my favorite one. I'm being, facetious here. I see it all over social media. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. You have all the answers. Really? Okay. I'm sure that you do, but that's what got you where you are that you don't like. So then you're saying don't listen to anyone else's advice. And so what happens is people go out and they go, well, I should trust myself because this person on Instagram said to. Then they really don't know what's happening. They go out and do the same thing they've always done. They get the result they don't want. And then they lose confidence in themselves. They lose the confidence and they think, wow, I'm not good enough. I messed up again. So what I like to do is ease people into this stuff. It takes practice. We all receive information and intuitive guidance in different ways. And I recommend that you just stay open. Sometimes I see things very vividly. Sometimes I feel things. I just know it's beyond words, but don't try to figure it out. The receptive mode, when you're relaxed, which a lot of people are not relaxed right now, but the receptive mode is when all of the answers and all of the inspiration comes into you. Okay. So hopefully it was helpful.
Yeah. I'm over here feeling like helped.
Yeah.
Because it's a simple reminder, right? Like to be in a space of receiving.
Yeah.
There's the give and then there's the receive, right? And it's a dance in nature. And when something like what's going on right now shakes our world up, like I know the other day I was like, oh, let me literally, I realized my shoulders were at my ears and I was like, oh, let me like release my shoulders, and to your point, it's, finding that space to, breathe and be open. And I think so many of us walk around so closed. Well, if I tell this person my idea, will they take it? Well, in our business of entertainment, we have to sign contracts. Yes, we need releases, right? And anybody who's going to be like a little weird about that might be a red flag you might want to consider. We had a whole talk about attorneys and, are your contracts in order? But that's not what we're talking about, right? It's a thing happen, but it's also like checking in with your gut. Can you talk a little bit about that gut experience when you're meeting a client for the first time, or you're considering which way in your career as an artist to go? And I'll give you an example. Yesterday, Brandon Markel Holmes was on, and he said, to my surprise, that he only started singing in 2014. I'm like, what? Like, surely that was a voice that was in you from the time you were a baby growing up. So, so tracking back, just how do we determine which way to go? Like you said, though, you have multiple talents. So speak a little, I'm just curious. And if anybody has a question out there, by all means, Gussie Miller said, Althea is yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Questions. This is literally meant for you to be able to ask some questions. I know that it's a different kind of topic, but I think that it's worth having because there is so much stress and anxiety right now.
So how to trust yourself more, like meetings and this and that. One of the things I like to have people do is just take a deep breath. Just by taking a very deep breath, it just automatically recenters our whole system. Very simple. People generally want things to be really complicated, but just take a deep breath and settle yourself back into your body and just be really honest with yourself. We always know when something's off. We can make excuses because I have been through this myself. I am super, super psychic, and I made excuses for people. You can feel it in your gut, but it could be somewhere else. You could just be feeling this energy of something's wrong with this person. And the thing is, they can smile in your face, they can say all the right things, do all the right things. But if there's just something nagging at you, trust that. Please trust that. I can guarantee you it was never wrong. And if you ignore that, you could probably, all of you, look back over and think, well, shit, I kept making excuses for this person until it actually blew up in my face. Once you recognize a certain energy pattern, and this is not about judging people, this is about your awareness, and being more aware will make you more easily able to navigate through life and create it the way you want. So let's say there's a particular person that they seemed all nice and smiley, everything was great, but in the end, they screwed you over, stabbed you in the back. Well, once you admit that to yourself, that, okay, that's what happened, you can start to remember, well, what were some of the red flags? And they don't necessarily have to be outward red flags. It was just a feeling like, yeah, I had a thought, or my stomach, was spinning. Then when other people with a similar energy come around, you're going to catch that real quick. And you're going to be like, nope. And you don't have to tell people this. You're just like, no, thank you. No, thank you. I don't need that. Yeah. Right? Yeah, we've all been there. I mean, I was notorious for making excuses for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then I'm like, okay, that last one was the last one. You don't need to tell me another time. I'm done. And the thing is, live and let live. But when everybody's doing the best they can, I'll say that. Okay. Everybody's doing the best they can. But we are in duality here. And there's some people that just aren't going to care about you. They're going to be selfish. They're going to take. And I would say most of the people on the call, when I tap into your energy, you're very giving. And all of you have like a bright, sparkly energy. A bright, sparkly energy that you want to share your energy and your message with the world. Well, when people are down and they're not feeling good, it's an illusion. We're always connected to source. We're always connected to our light. Okay. But we're in duality. They will be attracted to people that are light and bright and sparkly because they don't know that it's within them. But honor that. If you get that feeling that something's wrong, ask your physical body. Talk to your body. You can do it out loud or whatever you want to do. Say, hey, body, what kind of information can you give me about the situation? Let me know. Give me a gentle yet very clear awareness of when something is a no for me. And don't feel guilty about it, because sometimes we're very, very nice and we think, I can change this person, I can change this situation. And the other thing coming up is when we're really invested in something and we're so excited about our dream and we're like, this is it. This is such a good opportunity, but it isn't. And you're like, damn, messed up again. No, look at it as a learning experience, that it helped you to get more in touch with how energy is flowing around you, what type of people you have around, and then just move on from there. But trust yourself that you're going to attract better people, better situations, that you are worthy and deserving of that. Was that helpful? I'm getting hit with a bunch of info all at once too. Sometimes I'm like, I don't even know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's extremely helpful. I just experienced something along those lines where friend of like 17, 18 years who I've had a lot of turmoil. I've seen a lot of weird things, and it's almost as if I valued the friendship. And then, we creatives together and doing creative work together. And so it is tricky when you know it, you can feel it, and you're like, eh. So let me ask about second chances, because I've gotten to the point, and I think a lot of people and it's like nobody's got time to waste their time and like precious life energy, because we're alive, when so many people are dying, right? Like,
yeah,
we don't have time for the bullshit, excuse me, but we don't have time for, even if it's a business venture and somebody's not carrying their weight, right? That's all I'm saying.
One of the greatest questions that a friend of mine asked me about 4 years ago, and again, I'm super psychic and I missed it. I'm like, la, 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 everything's good. This person kept asking me directly out of their mouth, time and time again, Althea, please help me, please help me, please help me. Blew up, bad situation. I was like, oh my God, what happened? So my friend said, Althea, check in. Did that person even really want your help? And I got a big no. You all can tap into that. And if you're talking about second chances, take a deep breath again to get yourself centered and really be neutral about it. Because sometimes we can get really scared and we want the answer to be something. You have to be neutral. That's when you'll get a true answer. You can't have any energy invested one way or the other, but ask yourself. So say you have a friend and it's a second chance. Maybe it wasn't too bad, or maybe it was really bad. And you're like, oh, maybe they changed. But did they? Check in with yourself. Take a deep breath. And has this person really changed? Is this person really good to be in my life right now? And if you get a no, trust it. Trust it. Don't put yourself through that. No, really, no one does have time for this. No one has time for this at all. It's ridiculous. And some people literally feed off of that energy. Like, we're going to play that little game again.
They feed off of what?
They feed off of any attention that you're giving them. They definitely feed off of negativity and drama. Just any of that stuff. And we've all been there. And then what happens is we hang around people that are, toxic. We start to become toxic because we get the life sucked out of us. And then we're like, oh my God, I need some sort of nutrients. Someone help me. I'm drowning here. Well, if you were just honest with yourself and you realize that, no, that person currently is not in the space that they would be good in your life, let the guilt go. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah.
Do something else. You're like, no, I'm a bad person. You are not a bad person for recognizing what people are choosing to be. And you deserve to be treated well because you're putting yourself in a bad position. So what about you? Truthfully.
You touched on it. It's so funny because I was going to ask you, you hear careful of the company you keep.
Yep.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up because And as we're getting to know people and we're working with different people, it's such a joy to be around artists and to be able to provide artists with resources of all kinds, right? Mm-hmm. And so I feel very fortunate to be in this position. And at the same time, it's like, I'm going to ask a question that I think maybe we may have touched on before in preparation for today, but it was sort of like, how's our world doing? Like, how's nature doing? Because somebody earlier brought up a question about trusting nature. I will say that nature is really, we can listen and find answers within nature. That's just how I was raised as a child and an adult. I choose nature and I grow things and plants, but just with the energy of us all being stressed out, there's anxiety. Let's talk a little bit about what's happening with our world right now.
As far as the actual planet itself?
Yeah, I mean, the planet, because you're in LA, I'm in Chicago, there was an earthquake in LA, and everybody's like, if anything, I mean, now there's an earthquake, there's definitely, as we are all walking around and having our different experiences and various traumas, like, how is that also impacting, our environment, I guess? Maybe bring it as close as our environment.
Yeah, I believe that we are the earth. There's no separation. It's all an illusion that we're separated. You can give energy to the earth gives energy to you. I would suggest that people really pay attention to what they're focusing on, because if it doesn't feel good, you start to magnetize more things like that. That's simple law of attraction 101, but it's very, very true. And it is everyone's individual perspective on things. Having earthquakes, it happens. It's not like, oh my God. I mean, it happens. It happened even before what we're going through now. We have to find a way to make things good out of this. Mm-hmm. And I would say limit your time and exposure to any fear-based scary things, because me, for one, and other people I've talked to, can you really create anything when you're scared shitless? When your stomach's in a knot and your shoulders are up here? Like, that's not a space that you can create from. And so if we just tap in and realize that planet Earth is taking care of itself, but we are an extension of Earth. There is no separation.
Right.
There really isn't that, we're one person. Each of us is just one person, but we're so, so powerful. And please believe that any intention you set, you will see it. And it's a little freaky. You'll see it happen. If we just really could just receive a little bit today, that everything is okay, that we are loved, we are taken care of, that there really isn't anything to be protected from. As an infinite creative being, what would we need to be protected from? We all just decided to come down here and experience this beautiful planet, life. And doesn't that feel lighter than, oh my God, everything's horrible? People feel out of control. That's scary. You feel out of control. You feel like you can't do something to change things, but you absolutely can. You absolutely can. And the world needs you all to start focusing on what would be a better world.
Yeah.
I noticed in LA, like I said, I grew up in Ohio. Even if you didn't like somebody, if you saw him with a flat tire or whatever, you're like, yeah, Jim, he's a jerk, but I'm going to help him with his tire. And you just did it. Here, people don't even say hi, but they have. Now everybody's wearing masks. Their eyes are lighting up like, oh my God, another human being. How are you? So those are little things, little good things that I've noticed, is that people are starting to recognize and self-reflect of like, wow, I could be a little nicer. I could be a little calmer. There's so many beautiful things coming from this. I don't know if that was what you were looking for. I mean, I can tap a little deeper into it.
Listen, it's absolutely divine. It's perfect. We have a question. Okay. Is energy sometimes misread? We could have an off day and misinterpret that energy around us, maybe?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, because again, you want to get to neutral. So this is a common one. So most people, the issue of money or wanting more money is two. The number one thing that people come to me for is relationships, always. And so whether you're a man or a woman, let's say you've got feelings for this person and you're like, let me ask Althea or somebody, or let me go to an oracle of some sort. Well, you want to know that the person loves you or wants to be with you, most likely, if you have feelings for them. So you already have your energy invested, and that's the answer I want. But that's not neutral. So yes, if we already have a preconceived notion and we're just hoping and wishing and praying, give me this answer I want, yes, you're going to misread things. That's why taking the deep breath, being honest with yourself, there's nothing wrong with, preferring a certain thing to be a certain way, but that's not how you read energy accurately. And awareness is not comfortable, I'll tell you that. I mean, sometimes you're just going to realize that people that you thought were your friends, they don't care about you. And it's not a discussion that you need to have with that person. It's just for you to know that, okay, this person is not good for me right now. That's what they're choosing to be. And we don't like that. So most people will avoid awareness because it doesn't feel good to know. Like for me, the hardest was I can hear other people's thoughts a lot of times. And I don't want to know that someone's hurting and in pain. So I have to, okay, back to neutral, Althea. And is there anything you can even do about that? So a lot of times we don't want to know the answer or what's going on because we all feel obligated on some level to do something with it. And you don't have to. But yes, the energy gets misread. People have agendas. People have points of view. And yes, all the time it gets misread. Absolutely.
So when we started, you said, you mentioned that, to dismiss this notion of starving artist. So, yeah. Can we talk a little bit about, that in terms of, do you recommend writing things down in terms of manifesting? Is it, a particular mantra or an affirmation? Is it a mood board? I don't know. I'm asking. People find all these different tools.
Yeah.
Anything you could say about that?
I would say to do any or all of those things only if it feels good and you don't feel overwhelmed with it.
Pressure.
Yeah, because if you're sitting there writing a list, which that would be me, I'll write my appreciation list. It'll go 6 to 8 months, and then I'm like, and then I'm over it for a little bit, and then I go back to doing it. The whole thing is to have fun with it.
Yeah.
What aligns with you? Certain techniques are going to work better for others. I have 2 books that I absolutely love that people could check out. One, I don't remember the author, but it's called Write It Down, Make It Happen.
Nice.
Write it down, make it happen. It's so simple. And years ago, I wrote things down and I even put them on the computer. And I think I manifested about everything on the list. And then I used to take pictures of things, just one picture, places I wanted to go or certain items I wanted to manifest. And every time I would put it as my screen background, it was there, because it's a focal point. The other one, favorite law of attraction book is Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabehorn. So here's the thing. Even beyond, I know people like to write lists. I know people like to do vision boards and that helps them. But beyond all of that, it is the feeling. You only want the things you think you want because of the feeling you think you're going to have. And here's the thing, instantaneously, you can tap into the energy of that feeling. Now, one caveat here is I've run into a lot of people over the years where, so let's say we believe in past lives, even in this life alone, they don't have much of a connection to the frequency of happiness. Now, we don't need to know the reason why, but there are people that can hold the energy of happiness a lot easier than others. And some people are like, I don't even know what that feels like, Althea. So when I do the clearings, I activate that. So if you don't know, and you don't need to know, what is like relationships again? The type of relationship that a lot of people want has never even existed on this planet. We have a lot of interesting dynamics going on with romantic relationships, whether they're same sex or not. Like, that's just a lot of interesting dynamics going on there. And I have a lot of people coming to me like, well, I want this and this and this. But beyond the words, there's a feeling. You can't get the word of it all the time, and you don't need the word. And how are you going to find a picture? How are you going to find a picture to match that thing you want? You don't need to. Use those as tools if it feels light and fun, but start asking your body. Feel the connection that you have, that you actually are the universe. You're connected to everything. It's like, what would this feel like? Where is the energy field, the morphic field, wherever it is, and all of the existence that I could tap into right now that will give me the thing I'm asking for? And then right in this moment, I've noticed you, everybody on the call, me, we are bringing in energies that have never been here before. We're creating new frequencies.
That's exciting.
So that's making things a little interesting, don't you think? Because people are like, I don't even know what this is.
Well, let's talk about that, because you said earlier that all of the energies are like sparkly, tingly, delightful, shimmery, and that everybody that you can feel that's on the call, we all do, not to say we want to change the world, but we're all the do-gooders, or we're trying to do good things. So that's not surprising to me, because then we were attracted to this. But speak to that a little bit, though.
I really do feel that everyone on the call wants to change the world. We came here to create a new world. There was nothing, I wouldn't say there's anything wrong with the old world. Like, I'm not the type of person that I have to make an old version of something wrong in order to choose something different.
Got it.
That's a misconception. You can find so many wonderful things about the earth and the planet and the way life has been, but you can also not make that wrong and say, I'd like even more. I'd like better. I'd like different. And that's the other thing with being creative and artistic. A lot of times I found people think they have to get depressed and get down and, man, I'm just going through the shit right now. And for me, I'm super creative, but I'm like, I don't want to feel depressed anymore. You can create from both. You can create from happiness, joy, and ease just as nice and juicy as you can when the shit hit the fan. You can.
That right. Yeah.
I don't want to have a psychotic breakdown and be like, now I'm painting the best pictures of my life. And then I'm like, you don't have to do that.
You don't have to lose yourself is what you're saying. You don't have to lose yourself in the process.
No, you don't. No, you do not. So it's the same thing. We don't have to make any old version of ourselves, our life, the planet, what's going on in the planet. We don't have to make those things wrong in order to say, I'd like to try something else now. I'd like to try something else. That's very big for me because I used to be morbidly obese. And for a long time, it was really hurtful. And I'd get defensive because I was like, wait a minute, there's nothing wrong with that old version of me. That was a perfect, beautiful version of me at that time. And then I'm like, and now I'm done with it. Now I'd like to do something else. I'm over it. So it's just something as simple as that.
Yeah. But you speak to that because, or I'm glad you brought that up because you've told me that before. And it's always like, it's hard to imagine. And that speaks to our imagination too, right? Like how we not only see ourselves, like I've had friends who have lost the weight, but they still see themselves as that person.
Yeah.
Right? But I think that in our minds, we do that with everything.
I would say yes, because what it is it's energetic imprinting. So we have a general template, can't say that word today. We have a blueprint of what we come in with. But once we're here, what most people don't realize, and of course I'm going to change it, is we could change it. Because I don't know what you guys were doing before you decided to come down in this life. And I don't even know what I was doing, but sometimes I'm like, okay, if I had a contract set up to do this and this, I'm done. Like, no, I do not need to go through a lesson or this or that. Like, enough already. You can let people go out of your life if they're not healthy for you. You don't have to have a trauma bond with them and hang on to it for dear life. But yes, I love that you brought that up, because here's the thing. If we go, most people, you can write lists, you can sit and chant affirmations, but that's the long way. Nothing wrong with it, but I'm impatient with this stuff.
Let's go quick. This is why you're so good. Go.
So
quick with it.
I don't want to sit there and write and pray and chant and whatever, and I kind of sort of might get a result. I really want to pop these things out of my energy field in my body. So if you've been overweight before, there's going to be an energy residue there. And even with relationships, people that you've been connected with intimately, that's why a lot of times people find it very hard to let go of that stuff, because they're still entangled energetically. So you're entangled with an old version of yourself, you're entangled with an old relationship, and you're also entangled, a lot of you are entangled with dreams that you don't even care about anymore. You're over them, and then they're just all over you, and they're keeping you from choosing beyond. And the thing that's weird about it is, there's really no way for us to know that. Like it's in the subconscious and beyond. But you start getting these feelings of, what is this? Why am I stuck? You've just got old baggage stuck in your energy field. And most of us are not taught that. We're taught to be analytical and practical, and that's just how you do it. And then you work yourself to death. And then you're like, why is my life still not any better? I have done everything that I thought I was supposed to do, and it still wasn't good enough. That's also because most people, and I'm going to clear this, most people are entangled in the struggle, suffering, limitation, lack grid of the planet. It's competition, fighting. I got to get mine because there's not enough for everybody. And that's what we're really phasing out of. That you push, you're not going to get anywhere if you're pushing and working yourself to death. It doesn't have to be that way. But most of us were taught that because our grandparents and our parents, it was just the energy of the planet that we were born into. But now all of us on the call and many other people are doing their part to change that. That we want different. We want more ease. We want more harmony, fun and play and all that good stuff.
So how do we clear away the anxiety and the chaos and all the stress?
Okay, is everybody ready? So here's the thing. If you do not want the energy shifts and activations, simply let it pass beside you, through, whatever. You don't have to. It's all you and your higher self are in charge, and you will receive as much as you want. You're completely in control here. And we're just tapping into universal energy so that you feel lighter and freer. And just find a quiet place. And you can close your eyes, take a nice deep breath.
I'm going to turn my light off.
Okay. I'm in the spotlight right now. Ooh. All right, take another nice deep breath. And we're going to disentangle you from all people, places, and things, and all time, space, dimensions, realities, and in between. We're going to recenter all of you, calming down the amygdala, balancing the brain, aligning and activating energies of peace, calm, and relaxation. Releasing any thoughts, feelings, beliefs, patterns, or programs that you've picked up from other people, and just send it back to them. Take another nice deep breath, and you're going to call all of your energy and all of your power back to you, cleansed and purified. Just see and feel all of these beautiful light particles coming back and reintegrating into your physical body, and then expand out through all of your molecules past the edges of your body, bigger and bigger, and just starting to feel safer and more relaxed, acknowledging that you are connected to everything. It is safe for you to be in your power. It is safe for you to be completely connected, loved, and supported by the entire universe. And we're going to disentangle, clear any and all fear programs and patterns. And we're going to disentangle you from any active fear grids on the planet now. It could be fear about anything. There's a lot of that going on. Disentangling from any feelings of being out of control. And I want you to just bump up your power, each of you, more and more and more, that it is safe for you to be powerful. Completely disentangling you from any starving artist patterns and programs. Releasing anywhere and everywhere you're holding on to any dreams or goals that you're not really resonating with anymore. Any sadness, any grief, anger, blame, resentment, any disappointments. Just notice in your body where you hold that energy and give yourself permission to finally let it go. Clearing any and all shock and trauma. I'm going to go a little deeper here. We're going to clear any active shock and trauma because of the uncertainty of the planet right now. So again, that's an acknowledgement of giving your power away. So we're going to disentangle from any people, anywhere that you're aware of other people that are afraid and you've taken on their energy. Acknowledge that you do that and send it back to them again. Now we're going to disentangle and completely delete any connections to the struggling, suffering, competition pattern, that whole lack mentality. I'm just going to dissolve that grid, dissolve your connection to it. And we're going to clear any thought loops, any sort of distorted thought patterns about being a creative or artistic person, your place in the world, anywhere that some of you are afraid that what you do just doesn't matter right now, that there are other things and people and skills that are more important. Take a deep breath. There's a lot of anger with that too. A lot of frustration and anger. So all the artistic people, there's an energy of being stifled, or that whatever you're creating right now that you can't share, that it wouldn't be appropriate. So let's clear that out. And we're going to tap each of you back in to a higher dimensional flow of creative energy. And however that wants to show up for you, it's individual. Just feel and see this beautiful blue light coming down through your crown and infusing all of your cells. Just receive however much higher vibrational creative energy you want. And anywhere and everywhere, consciously or unconsciously, any of you have decided that people don't have the money to pay you. This is a big thing for anyone in business. We make assumptions of how much people how much people will pay for us, or even if they have the money to pay for us. So right now, with a lot of people not working, if we project that onto people that they don't have enough money to pay us, we're holding them in limitation. So let's bring up all that energy and collapse it out. Take another deep breath. That's again another version of that not enoughness, struggle, suffer energy, and just popping that out of each of your bodies. And activating within each of you that you know you are valuable. Know that you are worthy and deserving of creating and having the life that you want. And activating a higher level of consciousness and awareness of what is the next best step for you in your life and in your business. Activating within each of your bodies that your body will give you a gentle yet very clear awareness when something is a no for you, and you trust that guidance. And when something is a yes for you. I'm going to activate and align you with clarity. Just feeling more relaxed, allowing yourself to know what you truly want. It's safe for you to know what you want, what your true dreams and goals are. Releasing anywhere that you need anyone else's permission, validation. Disentangling all of you from any family patterns. You don't need to be any version of you other than the version you want to be now. So we're going to clear the energy and your perspective of your business. It doesn't matter what level, if you're just starting off, or if you're, whatever level of business you're at, or if you're starting again, or you're going to open a new type of business. I'm just going to disentangle and clear all the limitations, judgments, and conclusions, just clearing and disentangling from business in general. So it doesn't matter what kind of business you have. There's a lot of limitations, a lot of fear. Anywhere and everywhere that you've resisted and reacted or agreed and aligned with what you have to do in business, even if it makes you sick to your stomach and it's a no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to start an online business just because everybody else is telling you have to. Trusting your own awareness. Clearing and disentangling from the feast and famine energy. And for any of you that would like, we are going to revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate any contracts, oath, vows, commitments, secret, hidden agendas, any sort of contracts of any kind that are holding you back in your creative endeavors. And just take a deep breath and really just choose to let it go completely. And call back all your power from those contracts. Releasing anywhere you're afraid to be seen and heard. And aligning and activating that it actually becomes more fun and easy for you to be seen and heard to whatever extent you choose. And we're going to clear any judgments, conclusions, any sort of disappointments, just any sort of projections onto money and receiving. So we're going to clear all of that. That's a lot. And we're going to open up everyone's money channels, everyone's receiving channels. Give yourself permission to receive more and more. It doesn't have to just be money. Receive what other beautiful energies people can contribute to you, but really open up. Anywhere you're judging money, and anywhere that you have a cap on how much money you can receive and have, disentangle, delete now. And open up to infinite possibilities of how much more can you receive. And we're going to ask for each of you individually in your life that you get very clear insights and awarenesses about what wants to be changed in your business and life. These awarenesses are generally very subtle. Just be open to them and be in the receptive mode. And sometimes they can be very loud. But just open up. Let your body start to help you with those little insights and guidance. There we go. So it doesn't matter what everybody else is doing. If everybody else is taking this course, if everybody else is painting a certain way, singing a certain way, filming movies a certain way, it doesn't matter. What are you as an individual? What are you meant to bring to the planet now? How are you meant to express yourself? Breathe that in. Now we're going to activate more light codes in everyone's DNA, allowing everyone to more fully connect and receive from planet Earth, and allowing yourself to give to planet Earth as well. Aligning you all with inspiration, motivation, happiness, joy, fun. It's all within you. We're going to clear out any sort of physical or energetic residue of toxins. And acclimating each of your physical bodies to the new frequencies coming into the planet now. And just smile a little bit. Just smile as you receive. Everything's good. Activating more self-love and appreciation in all of your cells. Really just acknowledge how beautiful and amazing your physical body is, how it always supports you. And each of you can acknowledge your business. And even if you haven't set up a business, not from your perspective, the business is already there energetically. Send it some love, send it some appreciation, tell it thank you. Ask your business, what do you require from me today? What would you like me to do for you today? Really start talking to your body and really start talking to your business. You can talk to the individual products you sell, courses. You can talk to your creations. I hope you all are talking to your creations. There we go. And we're just going to activate and align each of you with any other frequencies that are required right now. Allowing each of you to call in whatever frequencies and individual expressions, whether it be artistic or not, of love, happiness, joy, peace, expansion for the planet that you as an individual are meant to bring in, that only you can bring in, no one else. Bring in your specific energy signature now. And then we're going to have you take another nice deep breath, and we're going to anchor in all of these new frequencies, anchoring in that you just know that you can emit your own frequency no matter what everybody else is going through, because you can only help people if you're feeling good. So you choose to feel good and focus on the positive and make the necessary changes, anchoring in this as your new highest set point, allowing for gentle, easy integration. And you can start to bring your attention back to your body, back into the room, feeling lighter, peaceful, expanded, inspired. And you can just take your time opening your eyes whenever you're ready.
I feel heavier though.
Probably because you're more grounded.
I do. I feel like,
yeah. Well, yeah, because you're grounded.
Yeah, it feels.
Do whatever you want to feel. That was just some suggestions, Sadia.
My tailbone's like, woo, I'm 17 floors up.
Well, see, then see, your body would require that. And the fact that you were mentioning this, that's energy tends to spin upwards when we're stressed. If you look at Chinese medicine, anxiety is in the heart and it has an upward spinning energy. So we just grounded you. So that totally makes sense. Yeah, I have a tendency to feel heavier too after I have a good clearing, because I get like, woo, let's do this. And I'm like, just everywhere.
What a blessing you are. What
Oh, thank
really,
you.
I mean, to say thank you is, I say thank you for my energy. Thank you, because just to say thank you, I feel like it's not enough to say thank you. I would love to hear, we still have our individuals have been hanging in with us, the same folks. Feel free to put some things in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Before we let you go,
Mhm.
I know we talked briefly potentially about bringing you back maybe, mid-May and then maybe end of May, or we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
But just to get a sense of the individuals who have logged on, they may tell their friends, but they'll also be able to share, hopefully, what their experience has been from today. The next maybe your time. Althea is very busy. You live in Los Angeles, and it's 90 something degrees there.
It is like 91, probably 92 now. I don't know, but yes.
Yeah,
hot.
but you guys have to shelter in place also, right? Oh, someone said they felt like they had, Mindy says, I felt like I had a weighted cozy blanket laying on me.
That's beautiful. That's that comforting. That's why they sell those weighted blankets, because it's like, I'm snuggled up.
Mindy, I totally felt it. Oh, Angela said, I feel like I dumped the trash.
Yes, dump the trash. So I want to say to everyone too that bless me. Oh, that's very sweet. I want to say that this is the energy that you're back to center. You're cleared up, okay? You're cleared up, back to center. You get to choose and restart your creations from a clean slate. We can always recreate things, but why would you want to use your creative abilities for that? Like, don't recreate things that you don't like. And if you happen to, be nice to yourself. It happens. But the point is, after this, in this space of expansion, peace, calm, what do you want to create now? But you need to choose it, okay? You need to choose it. I can't do that part for you, nor would I want to. But what are you going to do now in this space? What are you going to do now? What needs to go out of your life and in order for the things you really want to come in? What needs to change in your business? Seriously, if you need to change something really tangible and practical, if you need to hire someone. And here's the other thing too. The universe will always provide for us. Okay, we are the universe, so we're providing for ourselves in a sense. Have you ever noticed, like, there are many people I've known that have created money always at the last minute. Always at the last minute when they needed it. I'm just going to invite you. That might be fun for a little while. I can't stand that, actually. Like, I don't like the sick stomach. So you're able to do that. But wouldn't you want to do that more from a space of ease? What do you want to create now? So even I want people to get out of the mindset of thinking that they need money in order to have everything. There are plenty of people that would want to come in and help you and gift you, and universe will bring that in. So I know people are being, worried about money or this or that, or I don't have. Stop focusing on what you don't have and start choosing and commanding that this show up. And you don't figure out the how. You just say, this is what I want to happen. And I'm going to trust and believe, and I'm going to get excited about it and just know. I'm just going to know what's going to happen.
Get in that feeling of.
Yes, the feeling. Get the buzz, whatever it is, that buzzing feeling of, oh, that's what it feels like. So if you think, I want this relationship, because that always comes up. What do you think you're going to feel like when you have that relationship? Whatever that feeling is, just ask your body to start buzzing at that frequency. It's not about that other person. It's not. It's never about the other person. These people are only a beautiful addition to your life. And apply that to your business and apply that to your creations. Start creating with more joy. You don't have to, if it happens, fine. But I'm just inviting you that you don't have to create songs or paintings or, whatever works of art from a heavy, dense, traumatic experience. You don't have to dip into those energies. You can, but there's higher vibrational energies, and there's everything in between. What can you create from a space that you've never been in before with more ease and flow? And really start seeing everyone doing well. You see people on the street, Send them blessings. They're doing good. They're doing good. You see, this happened to me a lot when I was overweight, and when you're overweight people know they're overweight. I mean, they don't need somebody else to tell them, you know. But what I noticed is in the energy field, whatever you're carrying, like, oh, I'm overweight, I don't feel good about myself. If we walk by somebody and we project that back at them, we're contributing to that creation. If we see someone who's homeless, poor homeless person, rather than, that's an infinite being right there. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to see them as whole and complete, and see that with all of your clients, all of your potential clients, customers. See them as whole and complete, and see whatever your creative work is as valuable. That your time, your energy, all of your special skills have gone into that, and it is valuable. See them wanting to pay you. Gladly. Tap into the energy. Yeah, tap into the energy of what do your things, talk to your things, what do they want to be, what do they want to charge? But see people as wanting to pay you, valuing you, value yourself more. You know, do that, embody that. I can't make you guys do it. I can't stress it enough, but it works.
Yeah,
it works.
It works.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. My pleasure. Whee! I don't know how to end it.
Should I do my singing bowl? You know,
I think you should.
These have shown up a lot on Instagram. I think I saw Taraji P. Henson doing her singing bowl. Jill Scott was doing her singing bowl. So today, why not? It's Casual Friday. Just going to seal this wonderful experience with a little song from it. Yeah, that I got in New York. Oh, ready? That's my way of contributing.
I love it. It's beautiful.
All right, you guys, enjoy this rest of your day. Please share with friends. Feel free to leave comments on the Center for Creative Entrepreneurship Facebook page, or send us a note and let us know what you think. I have Althea's information there. Scrolling, write it down. She's a gift. We all are. And it's my joy to be able to share her with you, but you actually have access to reach out to her directly. So be kind to yourself and be kind to one another. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lots of love, joy.
Sparkle.